Mike, turn your games down.
Hi everyone, welcome to another spooky movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's talking to animals with me tonight?
Oh, I'm Tiffany Albertin, and yep, that's all I got.
I am Joe Butler, and just like the main character of this movie, I'm not in an entirely mentally good state either.
That was good.
Hi everybody, it's Kenneth Sanity, and I am here to sing a happy song.
Well, and this is a Patreon voted film because I decided to, Ken asked me, and I'm like, okay, sure you go, Ken, have a poll. And Ken, what did you choose and why?
Well, this was one of two winners for the poll. The poll was entitled No Happy Endings. And it was all just movies that don't end well for anybody. And today we're going to be talking about the 2015 movie The Voices, directed by Marjan Satrapi, written by Michael R. Perry, and starring Ryan Reynolds, Anna Kendrick, Gemma Arterton, and Jackie Weaver.
And I had no idea this movie existed until you put it on that poll.
Me neither. I was like,
I'm
what his voices?
so happy that I could help.
And 7 will be later. You won't hear it this month, obviously, because when you're hearing this, the month is almost over, but it is coming. Probably not October either. But I'll record it in October. I don't think it won't release. I have so much shit going on. It will come.
That's right, everybody. Games My Mom Found is so spooky, no one month can contain it.
I mean, technically, November is going to be the offshoot of all the spooky stuff that doesn't fit. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's going to keep going with other things. But, yeah, maybe let's do more spooky stuff all the time. Well, I had a list of plans.
I try to. You don't want to do it unless it's my poll. Or Ken's poll. Or Ken's poll.
When the podcast speaks, and then I do stuff I don't want to do.
John also had a poll one time. That went really well.
Like there was a couple. This is off top, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. She was watching the movie Megan a couple days ago, and I just saw a scene of that ugly ass doll, and I'm like, nope, I'm going to bed. And she got all mad at me. She's like, oh, you want to finish the movie? I'm like, nope, I don't want to see nothing of this movie. Like that doll is terrifying.
But that
Hey, really?
I want to see a Megan and Chucky crossover. That would be the plan.
Just seeing that doll, and I was just like, no, I can't. I'm not watching this movie. Like, I don't want. Because I came up from recording, you were watching it. I was like, nope. Mm-mm.
They did good with the makeup, and the actress did really good portraying her. I was impressed.
It's okay, Mike. Wait till the sequel, where the sequel's a sex doll.
Definitely not. Don't want to see that one. Then. So
That would be fun.
I don't even. Yeah.
Killing
So
all her pervert odors.
yeah, that could be better. At least, yeah. I don't know. I don't like dolls.
Sorry, no judgment to people who have sex dolls. Let's put that up.
Small judgment to people who have sex dolls. Just a little bit.
And you know, while we're talking about just putting it out there, I'm going to hit you all with a content warning because we are going to be talking about some mental health issues, some issues of violence during this. There's going to be all sorts of potentially uncomfortable conversations. So this is a good place for a warning.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. I mean, we needed to for this movie.
Because, oh boy.
Yeah, this was... So I came into this movie with no idea what we were watching. I didn't watch any trailers. I just knew Ryan Reynolds, Anna Kendrick, and Anna Kendrick's the reason I voted for this.
I was like, that's what convinced him, Ken. Congratulations. Yeah. And if you want him to do a movie, anything with Anna Kendrick, or a couple others, Scarlett Johansson and Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
There's a couple. Stay tuned on Games My Mom Found when we do the entire Pitch Perfect trilogy.
Yeah,
I've seen the first one. It's a good movie.
I don't like the last one, but let's do it.
I've seen the first two, I think. They were both good movies. So I'm up for it.
All three of them multiple times. And I have issues.
They're fun movies.
So yeah, I didn't even know this movie existed. I was like, oh, okay. And the cover intrigued me. Ryan Reynolds with a saw and animals. So I was intrigued to watch more. So that's my history.
What did you think it was about? Did you think it was going to kill animals?
I didn't know what was coming.
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just curious.
No, I didn't think it was going to kill the animals because of the voices. And like, I think I read a very, very brief, like not synopsis, but something about him talking to animals. And I stopped in that. I tried to go into these movies as blind as I can for stuff that I don't know.
I was expecting a quirky comedy. I did not get a quirky comedy.
No, you did not.
I mean, it's quirky.
So, Joe, did you watch this while under the influence?
Yes, I did. It did not help me be completely bummed out at the end of the movie because I also forgot this was a sad ending poll.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I didn't realize that's what it was, a Sanity poll.
Yeah. You're in the Patreon too, though.
I know.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm head of your Patreon because I get all your Patreon has been paid.
You do.
You have a new comment.
I think I voted for 8mm. So
I don't know what that is either.
I don't know what that is either, but I keep hearing people recommend it. That's why I voted for it.
Hey, I didn't want it to win that much. Honestly, I didn't care what won. I was just like, hey, I voted for this because I was like, this is new. I'm interested.
Okay, then we can go see it.
As always with my polls, I wanted every movie to win, which is unfortunate.
Hey, you got a tie, so 7 will happen. I'm just waiting because one of the people that wants to join for 7 just had a baby, so I'm waiting a bit. But
7's one of those ones that was going to happen regardless.
Yes, that's a movie that I had seen before and talked about. It was like, someday I'll get around to it.
The ending is...
Yeah, it fits what the movie is, but that's neither here nor there. Ken, what is your history with this film?
My history with this film was I found it on DVD at a Big Lots once upon a time. Like, I had never heard anything about this at all. And I just accidentally stumbled on the DVD at Big Lots for like $3. And I was like, okay, I'll buy this. And I bought it and I had it sit. And I had it sit. And it sat forever until about 2021. I was watching another movie from the survey, from the poll we had. I was watching the 2020 version of The Grudge. And I was like, oh man, that is such a downbeat movie. I need something to pick me up. So I threw this in. And I legitimately was having an existential crisis by the end of that double feature. It was not a good time.
No, I get that. I mean, this movie doesn't look like it's going to be a depressing movie. I mean, you know it's a horror movie, but it doesn't look, I mean, you don't expect it to be the way it goes.
I should watch the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer for this before I watched it either. I just read the description. And I was like, okay. And I saw, oh, it's on Amazon. Oh, it's with commercials. Oh, I'm just going to spend $4 to watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, the commercials do really suck in this movie, by the way.
They don't always leave off where they...
No, they just were, I don't know. It did take a little bit away for me. I didn't like it, but I was also cheap. So, but I didn't pay the $4. I thought about it.
I paid more than $4 to have this digitally, but I've had it digitally for years at this point, so I can't even, say, hey, I spent money on this.
This movie tricks you. It starts off very happy and friendly. He's at his factory. He's working. He's wearing a pink jumpsuit. Like, it really throws you for a loop for what's coming.
But something's off. Well, I think I knew right away that he was mentally unstable, and everybody's always like, he's weird. And some of the things he says are really awkward.
Oh, I should talk about the plot of this film.
Oh, yeah, please do.
We did that.
No, we did not.
Oh, okay.
No. Jerry is a good man who works at a plumbing fixtures factory in Milton, Michigan, living his life wearing his pink jumpsuit and churning out tubs for shipping. He also has a talking dog and a talking cat that act as the angel and devils on his shoulders. Jerry's just trying to live his life, but after an unfortunate first date, things go from bad to worse, and Jerry is forced to reckon with his inner self.
Was that even a first date? Is that what we're calling it?
I mean, it was technically a first date. It wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be.
It was meant to be, and she stood him up.
Yeah, but he was on his way home from said date when she showed up again. So.
She was a bitch.
She played it.
Good actress, though.
Yeah. Good old Gemma Arterton, star of Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Which I've seen.
Love that movie.
I saw it in theaters.
Why?
It's so dumb.
I don't know why.
I don't think I've seen it. I think that's exactly why I didn't want to see it. I was like, this looks stupid. They have
It is stupid. But it was good. I remember enjoying it, but this was back in 2012 or something like that? 2013? It's an old movie. Or not old, but
how dare you?
Good.
How dare you? It's praise. It's only
I found this opening very humorous. Like when you see, because after seeing Milton, you see Jerry's house, and everything is just very happy and friendly before you really start understanding what's going on. Because when you do get to his house, that's when you have the talking cat and the talking dog. And I love how the cat is an asshole. That's just so perfect.
Anybody who says cats are not jerks or assholes does not have a cat or is delusional. Because the sweetest, cuddliest cat can be an asshole. So
yeah, I know.
My cat.
Those Funko Pops know too. Those Funko Pops behind you that are damaged, they know.
What Oh, fucker.
My cat is very specifically an asshole, and I don't know why. Loves my husband, does not like me.
Was it supposed to be your cat?
It's supposed to be my cat, yeah. Fucking went to go grab the thing, felt bad because it was laying in an ashtray. So I went, all right, come on, kitty, you're coming with me. And then after like a month, it like hated me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And now it just lays on my husband's lap, and it's like, cool. And all it ever does is eat and sleep on my husband. But my husband's like, oh, I hate this thing. I'm like, why? It's like, oh, because I had gallbladder surgery, and the cat always likes to lay in the exact spot where my gallbladder's missing. And I'm like, aha.
That was supposed to be my cat, you jerk.
I mean, technically, the cat we have, Kira, the kitten, was supposed to be hers, and it became mine.
Yeah, but I am so glad we don't have a human daughter. We'd be in so much trouble.
Yes, we would. I'm a sucker.
Being a girl, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm a sucker. The cat has me wrapped around her little paws, okay? Imagine a human.
Right.
I mean, my son has me pretty well wrapped, but he's not a girl. I'd be even worse. I'm a sucker.
Because she became a teenager.
I'd be a sucker. But I really liked it when you see them talking to the animals, and you start getting the idea of what is going on. At first, I didn't realize it was mental illness. I thought maybe, it's like it doesn't really give. I mean, I think I knew that already. I knew a little bit about, very, very little about the movie, but I wasn't sure.
Here's an interesting way to think about this movie. Think about Jerry, as played by Ryan Reynolds, as being Ariel, and she's talking to Sebastian Flounder. I think this is a really interesting send-up of a Disney movie.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. You look into everything, don't you?
Because, think about it. He's got, butterflies flying around him when he's happy about talking to the girl he likes. And, it's all very... This seems almost mocking the whole Disney aesthetic. All the color is hyper saturated in the movie. It's like that pink jumpsuit pops, boy. Let me tell you.
It reminded me of Squid Games, or it made me think of.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Because they had those bright pink outfits or whatever, didn't they?
Is it pink or blue? I think it was blue.
Oh.
It's been a bit.
No, it wasn't blue. It was more of a
Green?
More of a fuchsia.
Yeah.
It's been a bit. Oh, you're thinking of the guards. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had yeah, you're right. I was thinking of the contestants. Eva Teal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that show again.
Right.
That's a great show. I've watched
They
it
have a
3
season
times.
Never.
Yeah.
There's a sequel coming.
Is there? When? I
This
need to
year?
see what happens.
December.
Really?
I think it's the day before Christmas or something.
Ooh, that'll be our Christmas movie. Or I guess it's a show. Just kidding, but still.
I'm
Never
super
seen
hyped. You should
Never
watch
seen
it.
Has anybody watched the series, the live game show
Nope.
thing? Oh.
Nope.
There's issues with it.
Yeah,
They treated the contestants like shit.
Wow.
And there's lawsuits.
What do you what do you expect when you come into a game show or a reality show that's based on a TV show like that?
You expect them to run it professionally and not torture you?
Yeah, that didn't they say people got frostbite and shit like that from the show?
I don't know, but I do know there's lawsuits and there were a lot of bad shit happen.
Did they even finish it?
Yeah. I also think the person who won did not get the money yet, so I think that's also a lawsuit going on.
Ooh.
I mean, how hard is it to put the money aside when you start a show? The point of the whole show.
To win the money. Here's your consolation prize.
Speaking of consolation prizes, Jerry has to deal with a court-ordered psychiatrist.
I like her.
I like her too.
She was really nice and just take your meds, Jerry.
I mean, she was trying to help him. She was actually generally, you can see it throughout the film, she is generally concerned about his well-being. She cares about him, and she's trying to help him, not judge him for what he's done.
Yeah, she was, I can't describe, but when he would say something weird, she'd be like, okay, typical psychiatrist, how did that make you feel?
Well, just make a person open up.
Yeah.
She is trying to help him. She isn't, I mean, we have watched other movies where we had psychiatrists that I feel are more diabolical in general, just in horror movies that can be a trope. But everything with her is she seems like a generally good person. My only real question, which does not play in the part yet, is why the fuck are there nobody else in this office anywhere?
But that's her personal office.
Yeah, but you think there would be somebody else in the hallway, a receptionist, something. And apparently there is
That's
nothing.
her personal office, where somebody goes for therapy. There's nobody in when patients are doing therapy.
No, I mean like outside that room. You think there'd be more security
normally,
or something,
Normally
There's
you have normally you have a receptionist who has a call button that goes to 911 probably directly.
I mean,
True.
yeah. That's the only part where I'm like, stuff, but
maybe there was, and his delusional mind just didn't process it.
Well, we went a little differently.
Exactly. Something you got to think about this movie is that in all the hyper-saturated color parts, that's basically Jerry's version of what's happening.
Yeah, and it's not close to reality at all.
So, Ken, what you're telling me is if he was talking about how he was trying to feed his wife and she was pregnant and he was trying to do a heist, that you can't trust the narrator?
Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Yes. He is an unreliable narrator entirely.
There's backup I have to that, and we'll get to it when we get to it, because I have a firm belief of something else too.
Okay.
I was just sad, like, and this is very realistic, when he started taking the medicine, his world changed, and obviously for the worse, but it's true, like, you have this delusional world, and then you take meds to quote-unquote fix it, and then it all goes to shit. No wonder people are depressed.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, though. It didn't go to shit. He was seeing reality.
Yeah, but his reality was shit.
Yeah. His reality was 100 times worse than his
hallucinations.
But that's where it also should have gone down, where it was like where he should have, which, it's a movie, but the real life matter is, which technically I think nobody would have done, when he took his meds and saw how bad everything was, he should have been like, I should go to my psychiatrist and tell her I haven't been taking my meds, and reveal that I've chopped up a person because I thought it was a good idea.
She would have been obligated to go to the police, though, I think.
Yes.
Because at that point, if they've done something like that.
Yeah, they have to, when it's actual crimes, they have to tell people. So they don't have a choice.
There we go.
Like, if you were to make meth and then tell your psychiatrist that you're making meth, he would have to go tell the police. But if you tell him that you just got tired of your wife and ran away, you don't have to tell that to the police. So.
Well, the idea is that even though she went to the police, he should have told someone, I killed someone while I wasn't on my meds.
Yes, but he didn't want to get arrested.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to take his meds. I don't want to take my meds either.
I mean, I take very few meds, but I don't mind it. Like,
shut up.
But I get it.
I love taking my meds, and by meds I mean my marijuana.
Hey, it helps you. I take anxiety and blood pressure pill, so that's just me. But I have no problem. But I get it. Like, I completely can understand that idea. Like, especially if it changes your world so much to where everything is like his apartment. When you do see it outside of the meds, or when he's on the meds, that place is fucking awful. Even in the beginning, before all the shit happens in this movie, like, there's garbage everywhere. Like, it's a mess.
Now, here's my question. It's not even really a question. It's more of a statement, and see if you guys agree. He's killed before, right?
Yes, that's what I was going to get at.
Yes.
Oh.
There's way more Tupperware around his house and other shit.
Yeah.
Tupperware. I brought that up.
You did.
Because of the garbage bags. I was like, so those garbage bags aren't just from, like, the 2 girls or 3 girls. Like, they were...
there's a lot. And in the end of the movie, when you also see more garbage bags outside.
Yeah, but that's one thing when Ken mentioned he's an unreliable narrator. Yeah, no, he's killed before. Either he doesn't remember or he doesn't want to admit it, but there's a lot more than what you see. There's, like, shit all over the place. There's also a lot more blood too. But I do appreciate that it's a thing where it's like, oh, he's not too bad, and then he eats a pill and it's like, oh, he's way worse than you thought he was.
I was trying to figure out it. In my opinion, he was, like, on probation. Maybe just got out of a mental hospital.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
Was that because he killed somebody?
Well, you find out he killed his mother later on in one of the flashbacks because she told him to. So, and he was a child,
okay.
So he was then put into an asylum type place, and it's been so many years, and now they're like, okay, we're gonna let you try to go back into normal life again.
I will say this one time only ever, probably during a podcast, I'm gonna kick your ass, Mike, because I was high when I watched this, and that when the bunny flashed on screen, the bunny whatever toy he had, I actually almost shit my pants. That actually got me.
Well, you watch so many movies high, I'm like, you gotta watch. I was thinking of all the stuff like the animals talking. I thought that'd be perfect while you're high.
I do love, because there is a reveal later on in the movie, but I will admit that I do love its reveal that the animals are also voiced by Ryan Reynolds, because I wouldn't have figured that out unless.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that till he started mocking or imitating his dog, and I was like, oh.
I didn't catch it until the YouTube video 5 minutes before this recording told me.
Oh wow.
He started imitating his dog when he was on his meds. I was like, oh, that's like exact voice.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a part where he's in his apartment. I think he's doing something, but he's like looking at stuff and it's after he kills the second girl. He's putting like a coin in the monkey machine and he's talking like both the animals. And it's like, oh, they are both voiced by him. Cool.
He's a good actor.
I could just tell by listening. I mean, it's not really that.
No, I just didn't catch it. I thought they were different actors.
Yeah. Like, that was the original plan. That was the original plan. They were going to hire voice actors for the animals' voices, but Ryan Reynolds convinced the director that he should do them because they're from his head. So he would just do the voices.
That's fair.
That is fair.
And he can do it.
Yeah. And it was really the perfect decision because I think that was the move that really sells Jerry's schizophrenia is, all of these voices that he's hearing, all the different voices that he's hearing are all coming from him, which makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, because it's just him.
Are we not going to be Baby Eater?
We kind of are. A little bit.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Kind of.
Close enough. I really do love the cat. I love that the cat is such, the way he talks to him later, especially as the movie progresses.
Feed me, Jerry.
I love that.
That damn food, feed me.
Also, that is so accurate.
It completely even more accurate. It's that you're in a bad mental state if you don't clean up your cat shit.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I just cleaned up some cat shit earlier today. When I got up.
This was just me, but the cat sounds like Shrek. Mike Myers.
Yeah.
And so then I laughed when the girl's name was Fiona. I was like, ha! But I think that was just me.
I like when they try to include him, like they kind of force him into the meeting, which again, the point of that in the movie is to say, hey, he's a new guy. He just started working here because the boss makes a comment saying, oh, hey, you're a new guy. Why don't you're kind of, we're come to this meeting to plan out the stupid party. And the reason why one of the reasons that he does go, he was going to go no matter what. But like the boss even says, oh, Fiona, that cute girl from accounting is going to be there. And it's just like, okay. Should you be saying that as a boss? But then again, it's very normal.
Well, he wanted him to do what he wanted him to do.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised that that's what happened. I was just thinking to myself, but that's me as a guy who's managed. So certain things you just don't say. But then again, it's a movie. So that's what I was thinking. I also did not I like the actress that plays Fiona, but she does a great job of playing a character as really is a bitch, and it fits that this guy is going after the woman who has no interest in him and ignoring the woman that is interested in him. That feels perfectly for people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys have been there. A lot of people have been there, and I shouldn't say just women who go after a guy and there's someone else interested, but they're just
Mike.
No comment.
No comment.
I've done it. I know I've done it, but I don't think there's a woman interested in me, but I've done it, so.
Yeah, he's gone after the wrong girl.
Oh, a few times. So.
Am I the wrong girl? You better have a good answer.
No, you are not.
Good job. You get a cookie.
I don't know. I do love all the interactions where whenever he goes to accounting where Fiona and Lisa, which is played by Anna Kendrick, are, and he's always like the way that Anna Kendrick is just kind of hitting on him and showing interest, and he just ignores her. He doesn't ignore her, but he doesn't reciprocate the interest. He's just thinking about Fiona and the way that he's hallucinating about Fiona. And I'm like, go for Lisa. She's prettier anyway, in my opinion.
I think the other, which no completely offense anyways, because you a little later on you realize what her backstory is. I do think she is coming a little bit on strong, especially because it's a thing where it's like, I think it's revealed later on. It's like, didn't you just have a divorce a week ago? It's how I feel about that.
Yeah, she's got issues too. Like
that. Yeah, there is a comment about that, but no, I think that fits. I think somebody going through that is going to be, could be like that. I don't think that's an exaggeration completely. That they're gonna be, you're lonely and all of a sudden your life has changed and you're trying to find something. And I just took it also. She just really wanted to get laid. So
yeah. I mean,
that's fair.
Divorces don't happen in a week. They take a while. So it's one of those things, too, where it's like, she's probably been for a couple months, if anything, maybe even a year for all we know.
Yeah, it takes a while, I'm pretty sure. So, depending on the people.
As somebody who's been through divorce, mine was pretty amicable and it did happen pretty quickly, but it still was the better part of 4 months.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes a long time for people, I think, too, if you can't agree on stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still not over it.
No, and she's been divorced how many years now?
10 or more.
More than that, but yeah, I think it just goes along with it. Some people just can't get past whatever happened.
To be fair, I think it's also really fucked up because she was planning on going to which also sounds great. She also proves she's a bitch. She does plan on going to meet Jerry for dinner, but the girls go, "Oh, we have karaoke tonight." It's like, you really could have told her, "Oh, karaoke. We do karaoke every week. You can go on a date with this dude."
Or she could have told him.
But I don't think that's that big of a deal, like in that, because I don't think she was going to go no matter what, because she hadn't canceled yet. But Charity said, "I don't think I'm going." Like,
but either that or she for a free meal, if anything.
I mean, she should have at least told him, like, hey, because you can tell that she never calls him. She just stood him up. Like, just call and cancel. Even as a guy, like, don't stood up somebody. Just tell them, hey, I changed my mind. I can't make it. Let them know, so they don't sit there and have that,
that
part.
Awful feeling.
Yeah.
Also, fuck her anyways. Like, what a great place to go to. If I was invited by a fucking quirky Ryan Reynolds to go eat Chinese food where a guy sings on stage and another guy backflips around the restaurant, I'd be fucking excited.
Is that reality, though? I wasn't sure if that was reality.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I mean,
But sign me up. If there's a
That's
Chinese
another thing
restaurant like that, sign me up.
with this movie, like, you have so few parts that are not from his perspective that it's hard to tell what's real and what's not, because when you do get it from someone else's perspective, you do see a lot of the cracks. Like, even Ryan Reynolds, the way he looks, his hair is worse when you see it from someone else's perspective versus his.
Oh,
Little things like that. Yeah, his hair is much nicer, and when you see him later, it's more flat and unwashed, and like,
stop spitting. What's wrong?
you can just tell that there's something wrong, and I do like that.
Yeah, and all the colors are desaturated.
Yeah.
When it's his, like, it couldn't be more clearly two different worlds. And I think it works really well because it's not obvious at first.
It made it obvious when there's butterflies flying around.
The butterflies are obvious.
Right.
But otherwise, no. That could have just been like a temporary, he was in a good mood and so he saw the butterflies. I don't know. Does that ever happen to anybody? I don't know.
I took it as a movie being a movie at first until I realized what the movie was going for.
And that's why I thought it was a really good deconstruction of what a Disney movie is. Maybe Ariel doesn't, talk with fish and crabs. Maybe Ariel's just unmedicated.
I think there's a version or parody of that.
I'm sure there's our stuff. I'm sure there's lots of parodies of Little Mermaid. So
we're getting one eventually.
To the real story about the Little Mermaid. Let's talk about that.
I do like how when he does, like, the whole reason why he even ends up on the date with Fiona that doesn't happen is because Anna invites him to dinner where Fiona didn't want him to go, and then I like when Anna's like, "Hey, why don't you give me a ride home, or give me a ride in my car? Maybe even give me a ride home. I've had to," and then he just ignores her completely. "Oh, Fiona, I'll drive you to your car." Like, I like that. Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt. I'm like, go after fucking Anna. Fuck Fiona. Like, but I get it. I don't know, it was just good. And then the whole thing, like, we kind of talked about where she tells the coworker she's going to ghost him, and he's at Chinese alone. And I do like how everything ends up coming together because you have the girls at karaoke, which I did enjoy that scene, actually.
Y'all had good voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is both of them actually singing. That is Gemma Arterton and Anna Kendrick singing the best disco song ever written, Knock on Wood, as popularized by Amy Stewart. Best song.
Anna Kendrick can sing. I know that from Pitch Perfect.
She's my favorite character.
So she can sing.
I'm obsessed with the Cup song.
It was just a good little scene too, and then it leads to all the other problems that come up. Like, so then you have her. You have Fiona Anna drops her off at her car. Fiona goes to drive in her car, but her car won't start, and she just happens to be stuck, or trying to flag someone down, and Jerry just happens to drive by. And I think that's such a good scene that it's so by complete accident that he happens to be there. And it fits the horror movie trope of, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what it was, essentially. The things that happened wouldn't have happened had she just not been there. Had her car started, she would have drove off, didn't happen. And had she not stood him up, maybe she would have died anyway.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I was not sad when he killed her. She's such a bitch.
Okay.
I felt bad for Ryan Reynolds because he can tell he's completely doing it on accident.
Yeah, well,
That's how I took it.
He thinks he's doing it on accident.
Oh, you don't think?
Really?
Oh, good point.
But he didn't have to stab her 15 more times after she was clearly dead. He wanted to make sure, I guess.
And that's the part where Ken said, it's probably not accident. He's probably angry at her for standing him up. And then all of a sudden she's like, hey, let's go get burger. Do you think well, we know he actually did hit a deer. We know he hit something. We don't know
he did hit the deer, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So
Oh,
So
why did you think it wasn't a deer?
Because you don't know what's real and what's not. You just know his car is damaged.
Yeah, but she was taught, I suppose stuff she said could be...
I mean, very soon she's sitting talking in a fridge with just her head. So, hey, you really can't.
So, fucked up story time real quick. So,
Hey.
I watched this movie with my husband. Really, really fun fact about him. He's very slowly becoming vegetarian because since we live out in the city now, he's seeing more and more animals being hit by the highway. About a week ago, he accidentally hit something on the way home, and he felt bad because he looked up in the rearview mirror and he saw it twitching in the road. And so now he's very much like not big on animal death. So when Ryan Reynolds hit the deer, he kind of went, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed and go play video games upstairs. And I'm like, that's fair. I'm sorry. If I had known this was in here, I wouldn't have asked you to watch it with me.
I'll keep a track of that. If that's in other movies that we do, I'll mention it beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I watched the movie. I'm perfectly fine with it. I mean, it's not. It goes two different ways. My husband's upset and he feels bad about animals. It's funny. Not even about deers. He gets upset about like raccoons and possums because raccoons and possums are like his favorite creatures.
Like,
I don't care because deers are stupid and get out of the fucking road, you stupid deer. I don't know why the fuck you're going playing around the highway. You can eat my ass.
I mean, deer do that. Like around
Deer
here where I
stupid.
live, I had a deer walk in front of my car not too long ago, but I drive really safe, and I'm like,
just stop.
Yeah, just stopped and looked at me, and I'm like, I wish I could come out and pet you, but there's no way you will be there when I get over there. So,
Well, they're gonna eat our cat. Remember?
do you want to elaborate that story now, please? You can't just say that story without elaborating it. So go ahead.
When we first moved in, I decided to get another cat, and I didn't know she was an escape artist, so she escaped. It's dark out, and I'm going to search for her, and I almost run face first into a buck that's like tall, way taller than I am. And then I told my mom the story, and she's like, well, what if the deer had eaten the cat? I was like, I could tell she was joking. She was 100% serious.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, no.
And we have not seen it. And I've seen a few deer in my backyard, but that was also when the house had been pretty much nobody was living here for months. So it makes sense that they were just, it was part of their there's nobody here.
I've never seen a buck after that.
I've seen it a couple times here, not often, but there's a buck that roams around here.
Pregnates all it.
Yeah, that's fine. I apparently feed them all, so my bird feeders get empty sometimes very quickly at night.
We need a camera.
But him killing the deer like that, I do like it where the deer's like, kill me, Jerry. And I'm like, okay, there's something wrong here. Like, I can buy the animals talking to him, but when the deer talks to him and knows his name, like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't know something was wrong for that?
I mean, hey, could have been talking animals.
Yes.
I could have known his name, but the deer wouldn't have known his name. Yes, because
So it would have been better if he didn't say Jerry and he would just say, kill me.
It would have followed along, and maybe he has a gift and he can talk to animals.
Yeah. But
That's how I
I
was
wish you
thinking.
guys could see the look.
We could do camera, but assuming none of us are fit for camera at the moment. I don't.
hell no.
So we are not doing camera. But
I don't have a bronze. I thought you wanted to know that.
Let's just say there's certain things I should be wearing right now, and I am not wearing them.
no, trust me, I'm in the same boat. There's no camera. I record. Yeah. So when he does kill Fiona by accident, which is still how I took it, because he just ran into her, but the more that I think about it, Ken's probably 100% right. It was not an accident. He was angry.
Well, the other thing that I can also agree with too, which goddamn you, Ken, for making me think about it. It is really weird that he pulls out a buck knife randomly to stab that deer in the neck.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
So, do you think it was planned that he killed her, or it was just like a spur of the moment? You piss me off, I'm gonna.
The cat
think it was-
brings it up later.
The what?
The cat brings it up.
The cat
He
doesn't
does?
know. Yep.
Yeah.
Was he
Later
say?
on, he's like, Jerry's like, oh, I didn't mean to kill her. And the cat's like, yeah, why'd you bring the knife then?
Oh, I missed that part.
Oh.
That's good.
Yeah,
And the cat is him, so there we know.
plus it ends up falling to a whole thing where like he says it's an accident, and like I brought up earlier, when you do see the real version of his apartment, it does look like he's killed way more people before. So he is an unreliable narrator to where he's probably killed before, and because can you have schizophrenia so bad it messes with your memory?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this probably isn't the first time he's quote unquote killed on accident.
Do you think he has blackouts?
If I had to guess, I don't think he has blackouts. I think he has spells of taking his medication. And I feel like when he stops taking his medication, things kind of reset, but not everything.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Well, plus, there at one point when he's in the house after Fiona is killed, when he's watching TV, they talk about a serial killer on TV, and then they're like, they're talking about you, and the cat, he's like, no, it can't be. I've only killed one person. That also would go along with the fact that he's killed a lot more.
Yeah, I even was like, well, he's not a serial killer, but then I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, when you see the bags in the Tupperware.
I'm like, oh, right.
Also, why are you putting a body in a Tupperware? God, that place must reek.
Well, he is Jeffrey Dahmer.
I mean, that was 100% Jeffrey Dahmer reference, put the head in the fridge. Okay, no question there. You know that's what they were going for.
It's 3 or more people, by the way.
Is this for a serial killer?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
I actually think Ken is right, too, because I forgot. I think it's either the first or second time he's with I think it's the second time he's with a psychiatrist, and she's like, are you taking the meds? And he's like, yeah, I'm taking them. Well, I sometimes take them. And he's like, well, I take them, and then whenever I feel better, I stop taking them. So it is very much a situation, because I think I saw a Law & Order episode, which is based on true stories anyways, where they were trying to like arrest a guy, and basically the whole point of it is it's like, well, you can't arrest him because he's mentally unstable, but the whole concept is he keeps doing it where he'll kill someone, he'll go to court, he'll take his meds, he'll be fined for like 3 months, and then he'll stop taking his meds, and then he'll kill someone again. And it's like the 5th time he's been in court.
Well, at that point, you need to be like, okay, he needs to be locked up.
Yeah.
Because he was purposely doing it. So he had an excuse.
You know, it's funny you bring up Law and Order. Because, this writer has written for Law and Order and The Practice, NYPD Blue.
Oh!
Nice.
He also wrote for some of my very favorite shows, including Erie, Indiana, American Gothic, and Millennium, and Freaky Links.
No idea what most of them
no
are.
idea what those are.
You know what?
Indiana?
I don't
That's
think
fine.
so.
That's such a... I mean,
Yeah.
I tried rewatching it, and I couldn't.
Was that Disney show you got all excited when we first got Disney Plus?
No, that was... Can't remember.
Okay.
Her name was also Fiona.
I do believe Erie, Indiana is on Disney Plus now, if anybody wants to watch it. Millennium was quite possibly the darkest show on television that I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know that.
Darker Than Hannibal?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, where can I see that one?
You can't. It's not streaming anywhere. It's a damn crime. It was an X-Files spinoff.
Oh, really?
Shit.
And it starred Lance Henriksen, Bishop, from the Aliens movie. And he was basically investigating serial killers that were becoming more active as the turn of the millennium was happening.
Oh.
And, all sorts of fun stuff, like conspiracies and that great time that we always have on X-Files shows from Chris Carter. But it was so fucking dark. It only had 3 seasons.
Oh, 3?
Yeah.
I thought it'd be 1.
No.
Just because sometimes dark stuff doesn't catch enough to keep going.
Yeah, well, the people like us are coming out of the woodwork now.
Okay. Fair enough.
Like,
And by us, I mean me and Ken.
the guy from Millennium started as an X-Files character, so...
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I've watched very, very little X-Files.
I had to stop when Sully was impregnated by aliens.
I watched like 4 episodes, but I was watching it in the, maybe a little bit before we met, so 9-10 years ago, and I'm like, I can't do this. This is just too stupid now.
Okay, we might have to rewatch it.
So.
I don't know if I ever finished it.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. But when he does get home after he kills Fiona, I like how the cat tells him he's stupid and the dog tells him to go to the cops, which I do like that. Again, showing that you mentioned earlier, the angel and devil. And when he does go to clean up the body, you realize that he fucks up in cleaning up the body. He doesn't get it.
He doesn't get all of it.
Which is that's part, if you're trying to clean up a crime scene, you kind of got to get rid of it all. You can't leave evidence.
Weren't there organs in the woods?
It looked like it, yeah.
I thought that's what they said on TV.
Oh, maybe they did. But it's how...
So he obviously chopped her up a lot more.
But also he chopped her up in the house when he put her in the Tupperware.
That's what I mean when he killed her.
Yeah.
Violent, probably.
It's fucking weird.
I mean, it could also maybe, the way I could see it too, is he does stab the shit out of her whenever he gets upset. She probably could have had something fall out her back while he was picking her up.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how bodies work. I'm not a goddamn scientist.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it also he's showing you never killed anybody, thankfully, so you wouldn't know either. or studied medical.
Sorry,
Ken might know. He studied medical stuff, I think, or at least read about enough from our previous episodes.
It's been a hobby. I've never killed anybody, but I read stuff.
Ken, if you stab someone in the stomach and the knife goes all the way through, where their intestines fall out the back?
It depends. It's theoretically possible, but the spine could pose a problem where things could just loop on the spine and drag. But, theoretically it's possible. I mean, it would have to be a lot. Like, the initial stabbing would have to be so hard that the intestines are, pushed through, which I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because it's anger. This is an angry killing. It's meant to look like an accident to start with because you can't trust the narrator, but then you find out very quickly that it's anger. I think that all fits well.
It's big bad anger too.
Yeah. This is when you have so shortly after the scene you have him outside the hardware store buying the saw and stuff, and he's just talking with the cop. And I do like that. The cop's like, "Hey, Jerry, what happened to your car?" He's like, "Oh, I hit a deer."
Well, he did hit a deer. That wasn't a lie.
No, I know, but...
And that's why his car was...
And he's something about, I took the deer, or I left the deer. He's like, "Oh, if you took it, I don't care."
No, he said, "What'd you do with that good meat?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you took care of the meat all right. Don't you worry about that.
So why was he putting the bodies in Tupperware?
Okay, better question to ask is what's causing that? And if you look at the way that he lays out his Tupperware, alternating lids... Every row is the same. Each other row alternates so that it's a checkerboard pattern. I think Jerry's also got some OCD problems.
Okay.
But why weren't they bigger? That's a lot of little containers to put.
Yeah, bodies are big.
Well, why would you... it already looks weird, but what container would you buy that's probably big enough and maybe not air enough to do something like that? Because I think at the end of the day, you keep it in trash bags. He knows what he's doing for the most part. I'll always admit that for the movie. He knows what he's doing. So it's if you're going to keep the bodies around trash bags, it's going to sting up your apartment. I at least think Tupperware was him trying to be like, "Oh, this is probably the smartest thing I could put them in."
Yeah, probably. Till someone is like, "Oh, is this hamburger?"
Well, nobody comes in your house.
That's true.
It doesn't have people over.
Now,
when Anna Kendrick does come in later, it's not his choice. She breaks the lock, and I was very sad when that happened, by the way.
What? He killed her?
Yeah, I was sad. I really liked her.
You saw it coming. You didn't see it coming?
Well, of course I saw it coming, but I'm still sad.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see her get killed. I wanted her in the movie more.
Because when you actively pursue a serial killer, it usually does not end well.
Also, we're doubly point too. I think that what is it? Oh, the weirder part is whenever the sheriff asks about the deer. I've seen people hit deer. I don't know if you've had ever people hit deer. You can't save the meat on a deer. Normally when you hit a deer, their insides explode, so it ruins 90% of the meat. That's at least what I've heard too.
I've seen people take it. My cousin did that.
It depends how hard they hit it. But yes, there are people. I've seen carcasses on the side of the road that are just awful, but I have heard stories of people hitting it enough where it's you killed it, but you can still take it.
Yes.
But I never worked in DNR or anything like that, so I can't really speak if that's a thing.
Report it, otherwise it's a crime.
Yes. But I'm pretty sure people have done it, but I don't know enough, and I'm not in that hunting world at all.
Oh, I just told you, my cousin did it.
Which one?
My dad's cousin that lived on the farm.
Huh.
Oh, he's a which one?
That's a fair question with you.
Which one would you have guessed?
Oh, they're all crazy. Well, not all, but a good chunk of them are. All the ones around here, kind of crazy. That I talk with. All right, and let me see here. Just when he puts the head in the fridge, after he kills Fiona, he puts the head in the fridge, and you have the head talking, which is just creepy as fuck.
Yeah. It's not surprising, but it's a little bit creepy.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but it was fine. And I was thinking about I think you get a scene where he takes his meds and he realizes the head is not alive.
Yeah, you see the head starting to decompose.
I like when Fiona's like, Jerry, I'm starting to stink a little bit.
Well, it's a rotting head. It ain't gonna be okay.
I need a friend. Give me a friend, Jerry.
Yeah, that part's a little
I'm also a big fan that it goes to the craziness that after he takes his meds, or after he stops taking his meds a second time, he opens the head to her and she's talking in a really shitty British accent because he doesn't understand how British people are supposed to talk.
Oh,
yeah, you're right.
I didn't catch that.
Good.
Yeah, because she opens the fridge and she's like, "Hello, governor, all pip pip and cheerio. Thank you for helping me."
I was wondering why she said hello, governor.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how fucking British people talk. He's an asshole.
That's cool. And then when he does dump his meds and you see that everything is not okay. No, he takes his meds and I think you start seeing everything's not okay. Then he dumps his meds and that's when he stops doing that.
Is it bad for me to say when he's off his meds, his apartment's actually pretty cool? It's a pretty cool apartment.
It's kind of a nice setup.
Yeah.
Like it's got a
It looks nice.
It kind of looked like it's above a bowling alley.
Is it an abandoned bowling alley? Is how I took it.
Above the abandoned bowling alley, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be abandoned because those trash bags are sitting out there. Nobody comes out there. But every once in a while, there's a shot to the bowling alley that looks like it's in use.
Yeah.
So I feel like that means it's got to be him, right?
I was just going
to say,
it's probably him.
Yeah, has to be it. It makes sense. I mean, and I feel like that fits, too, if you're going for, like, depending on what, like, for a Midwest state. I mean, you're going from Michigan, but I think it makes sense to have some abandoned place that, you know, he just happened to have an apartment above that he's renting or something. Like, I feel like that makes sense.
But it would not look like that.
I mean, it looks like what it does.
Yeah, when it looks like what it does, it makes more sense. But yeah.
Oh, and this is when he gets to the factory and the boss asks him if he's seen Fiona. I mean, they aren't worried yet, even though they should be, that her car is just, you know, like, oh, it's the end of the month. She's not answering her call. She must not want to, you know, she's upset. Like, maybe you guys should be a little more worried. Like, her car is here.
But they start to figure it out when Anna Kendrick's character
sort of.
When last seen with him, that's the second girl.
When she goes missing, so they didn't know she was with him, but when she goes missing too, the guys send the other woman to go. They don't go themselves yet. It's when the third woman goes missing that the guys go, okay, maybe we should check this out. Also, you shouldn't have let her go by herself. You should have went with her.
And normally when you take your friend off to the car, because you wait for them to start their car and you see them drive away and then you away.
Yeah, especially with women. I don't know. I feel like I'm very protective when it comes to women in general. Like, because people like this are out there. Like, this is not. I mean, yes, this is a story, but this shit happens to a degree.
Choose the bears.
Maybe without the animals talking, but shit like this does happen. I know in Milwaukee, not earlier this year, there was some guy who went on a date and killed her and then got arrested because he cut up her body and put it in different garbage cans. Good old Milwaukee. So.
Not just Milwaukee, though. It happens everywhere.
But the only reason I know it was Milwaukee is my parents were talking about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known about it, and I have to jive it.
What did your mom think about that? Oh, my God, I can't go.
It actually wasn't that far away from where they live.
Oh, God, but she wasn't freaking out?
No. She don't go on dates with anybody, so it's okay, I guess.
She dates her cats. And her job.
But yeah, so I thought that was just kind of... That's what it made me think of. Did you have a weird scene when he does get back to the house and he's just watching animals fuck on TV? Like, I feel like that's also to kind of, like, just, you know, show his sexual tension. I mean, sure, that's what it's there for.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then at the same time, right after that, the cat tells him to kill again. It's like, you know, you want to. It feels good to kill. And I'm like, you know, coming from a cat, that would make sense because they are a predator and they do kill things. If you let them.
Lets them go.
Yeah, one of them does. Remember that mouse you found upstairs once that was missing, that the guts were on the outside?
Oh, that was so nice.
Yeah, that was a kill. And we know exactly which one did that, right, Juliet, don't we? Yeah, you good girl.
I thought it was vomit. It was dark. And
it wasn't vomit.
And then Mike's like, oh, there's a mouse. I was like, what? You just picked up a mouse over there? And I was like, what?
Yes. So cats are killers. But that's what they're made for. She was just doing her job. Yes, you were. She's looking at me as I'm talking.
She's like, I heard my name. I heard Juliet.
She was looking at me even before when we talked about her murders. She knows. She hears. She was looking at me as I was talking about the murder of the mouse. And then I said her name. So.
She's like, oh, yeah, I probably.
But yeah, this is when Jerry finally goes and talks to Lisa. Oh, yeah, and then they go on their first date together to the bar. So I was wondering about this. When he's driving her home, and she's like, you missed my house. I'm like, yeah, she's fucked. But then he takes her to the old abandoned house that he lived at. Like, you think he was going to kill her?
Okay, so I think he thought about it and then changed his mind. Because at the beginning, he's talking to Dr. Warren. And he's like, you know, if I ever meet somebody who I really like, I'm just going to be honest with her. I'm going to tell her.
That I kill people?
Or that he has history of mental issues.
There you go. Yeah, that makes more sense.
And I feel like him driving her out to the house and explaining what happened was him being honest with a girl that he really liked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's because he killed the other girl he really liked.
Well, she didn't like him. Lisa's at least interested in him, like a lot. I mean, I'm surprised after he tells him that does he tell her he killed his mother? Or he just says, my mother died in this house.
Yeah, he says my mother died upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when she kisses him.
Yeah.
And then they go. Then they go to her house and fuck.
Yep.
Also, he was planning on killing her. Whenever she walks him out of the house, you see him throw a garden tool on the shelf.
Oh.
Yep.
We're like,
Okay, he was gonna kill her then.
Oh yeah, and he changed his mind. He was honest, and you know what? Good for him.
I do like when after they have sex and he's like the next morning he's like, oh shit, we gotta go to work. I gotta feed my animals. And he gets home and the cat's like, you fucking didn't feed me, you asshole, feed me. And I'm just like, that is so relatable because like when we come home late sometimes we go out and feeding times around 7 to 8 o'clock. I get home around midnight. I get yelled at a lot by my cat.
Oh, I have my cat on an automatic feeder. What is it? My friend gave it to me because she's like, hey, our dog was on an automatic feeder and the food that we get him now is too big for it because he has no teeth. No, it's wet food now. They feed him wet food because he has no teeth. So they're like, we have no use for this do you want this automatic feeder? And I'm like, yeah, I could get for the cat because my old roommate used to feed all the cats at the same time because her cat was also an asshole. So now we feed my cat Mumbles with the automatic feeder, and she'll she pretends she's not being fed as cats do. So she'll come up to me and scream, and I'm like, cat, I'm really high right now. I know you don't get fed till 9. And she's just like, "Meow," and then I'll hear the bowl go off, and she'll jump off with me to go eat.
We do the wet food is what the problem was, but also we have a dog. So if we did have an automatic feed, the dog would just clean it up instead.
And she will get to that cat food. She busted through a door to get to the cat food. Like took off part of the.
Yes, she's not joking.
The vet didn't believe me when I said that. We need to get these off at Amazon. Yep, I did try.
We just accept that our dog's overweight and she'll die happy and fat, and that's all that matters.
Oh, all dogs are overweight. I think, what is it? I took my Chihuahua whenever he wasn't feeling good to the doctor, and he was 13 pounds, 13 ounces, and they're like, he needs to lose those 13 ounces. I'm like, 13 ounces? He's bones. It's a Chihuahua. I want him fat.
I mean, I just accepted that. I mean, not all my animals are fat. Almost all. My little kitten is not fat yet because she doesn't stop running around.
No, the vet said she should stay at that 10 pounds, like nothing over.
I'm like, what do you want us to do? Like, I mean, I did realize that there are fat camps for cats, though. I found out through the internet. And a Russian cat that was 38 pounds that tried to escape, and then they showed pictures of him on a treadmill.
Oh, you
and it was real.
Okay. So. Ken, do you have any weird pets?
I just have 4 strange cats.
But do they talk to you?
No.
In English. Okay, good.
In English?
Hey, they do talk to us? Kira talks to me all the time.
I was like, would they be talking to us in Spanish?
If you speak Spanish, yes. I don't speak Spanish. So, unfortunately. I wish I did. I don't know. I really like when he goes home to feed the animals. I just like that. That's a good little scene. And, I mean, they do show, like, when he goes back to work, and then Lisa's like, hey, I want to go help me in the copier so they can make out, and then they get, like, I do like that little stuff with that. I really like Lisa. I was so upset when she got killed. I did, but it upset me. I wanted her to survive. I mean, you had the idea that she was going to end up like, oh, you kill people? All right, I'll kill people with you. Like, you thought that's when the movie was going. I did.
I thought she was like, it was going to be like a you scenario with love. I'm so sorry.
You know what? I really don't like that show.
It's a hard show to watch. I like the show, but it's hard.
Fucking show to exist. You know what? No.
Yeah,
nope.
That's
not gonna.
What show is it?
You. It's about a serial killer who acts like he's the good guy.
Oh.
He's not the good guy.
Is it worse than Dexter?
Yes.
He's killing women. He's not killing, like, killers. He's killing women who he gets obsessed with. It's got issues.
But he usually dates them.
That makes it worse.
Yeah, because he's not bad looking. He's very charismatic.
No, but I completely get it. Like, that's a show that anytime I tell people about it, I'm very upfront. Like, you be careful if you're going to watch it. Like, it depending on, it's a fucking dark show. So, but yes.
Fucking stupid show.
I agree. I like it, but I completely see where you're coming from. But no, I get it.
Not the last season.
There's one more season coming, and the show's done. I guess it's based on books that I'll never read.
To be fair, Lisa's entirely fucked up method, which is it is her own fault, but it also shows to respect your partner's personal or the person dating's boundaries. She should not have asked for his address.
No, nor go there to surprise him. I get it. Like, you're in a new relationship. Sometimes you
broke into his house.
Well, to be fair, when she broke into the house, she was trying to help him.
That's why I thought she was psycho.
Yeah, but where the fuck did she learn how to pick a lock like that?
Well, Google. I've done it before.
I mean, Yeah, I've never picked a lock. I wish I knew how to pick locks. But then again, I'm a strange person.
I guess I didn't pick it. I opened the door with a credit card. I Googled
That's not picking a lock. I wouldn't say that's picking a lock. She picks a different kind of lock.
I know. I just said it's not picking a lock.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done that too when I couldn't get in my apartment and I locked myself out. But like a lock like that, like she's doing like the whole like, she's the master of unlocking is what you're saying, Ken, right?
Get out.
Dude,
Stop with the references I don't understand.
Resident Evil 1.
Oh, of course I don't know.
I understood that reference.
Good job.
And we just made a joke about it at some point recently in an episode that is not aired yet. But yes.
I do think, though, it is a little fucked up, too, that she did pick his lock. Because, I mean, it's another thing, too, where he's already said, hey, my dog's inside the house. And the last thing I would want to do is let someone's dog out. Because those bastards are fucking hard to catch.
Well, dog will come back, won't it?
No.
My dog would in a heartbeat.
You see how many posts we have on Evergirl Pike?
Oh, yeah, because my dog comes back. My cats, on the other hand, I don't trust them, even though the one that didn't get eaten by a deer, neither did, but none did, by the way, but the one that almost, that we thought got eaten by, that my mother-in-law thought got eaten by a deer, she was sitting out, she climbed up the patio and was just sitting there crying at the door trying to let me in.
She's got a super small, or quiet meow.
And my other one, Kitten, that's escaped a few times. She just goes in the backyard woods and hunts and cries.
So you know where you are, where she is. You say Kira, and she's like, "Wah!"
But she won't come to you, but she'll cry.
She'll cry so you know where she is.
And then finally she'll get out of the woods. Go, okay, I'm done now. I'm ready to come in. But that too. But yeah, I don't get it. But yeah, I guess it does happen. Never mind. Keep going, please. I'll stop talking.
I completely lost the track of the conversation.
The dog escaped. Lisa's an asshole. Open the door.
Yes.
I don't know. I was like, you know what? Hey. But, I mean, she did do it for the right reasons. I felt that she's trying to help him. Maybe she also just wanted to get laid, too, again.
Even after he said...
Yeah, like, she's got some boundary issues.
Yeah, she's... Yeah,
but, you see, the problem is when I look at that, I'm the dumbass that went after women like that. So, yeah, I mean, I did 100%. I'm not going to elaborate, but I did.
No comment.
So...
Her character is toxic in her own way.
Yes.
But at least she has the wherewithal to be like, oh, this is a problem when she gets into the apartment.
Yeah, that was so sad when she sees the apartment. He's like, I didn't want you to see this. And I'm like, no, don't kill her. I like her.
But unfortunately, she gets to die.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of like, when he throws her against the bed, I mean, it looked like an accident, but no, because he breaks her neck essentially, right? That's what it's supposed to be. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't, I don't think if you fall wrong, you can get terribly injured. People don't realize that. Especially when you're older, by the way. Don't fall. Bad things happen.
I have a weird question. Can you die from that?
It's possible.
Okay, so if he had actually, if this was a normal situation and like she fell wrong and he called the cops, she might have been okay.
Yes.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Depends how bad it was.
It depends on the break in the spine. Like it could have completely paralyzed her from the neck down, meaning lungs don't draw air.
Yeah,
I got that impression because she didn't move after that.
Yeah. So like I think it was a bad break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he did throw her pretty hard too.
Yeah. And that's
I think he's also angry that she didn't listen because he's like, I'll just get in through the roof. Like, don't worry about it.
Right. Like,
boundaries.
And I think, yeah.
Well, that's why he locked the door when he was coming out. He didn't want her in there, which is
that was her intention, was to get in there and get laid again. So
yeah, but he did not want her in there. Like, I'm not victim blaming.
No, I get it. I mean, I was thinking of Dahmer, like, no, he invited people into his apartment and then killed them.
No means no, y'all. In any circumstance.
Oh, I almost said something bad. I blame South Park.
Oh no, I was just so sad. And then he puts her head in the fridge too, and I'm like, oh, I'm not happy.
Oh, but Fiona has a friend now.
Yeah, but Fiona's not really there, so.
She doesn't talk.
Okay, fair.
Listen,
fair enough.
You know what I want to know is where someone could get that cuddly monkey machine, because I'd kill to have something like that in my house.
Oh my God, that's a bop when he puts the money in and it starts playing music.
I'm assuming the idea that was downstairs in the bowling alley. He took it up because there's no bowling alley. That's how I took it personally.
That was my thought, too.
So this is when then you have the co-workers are worried about Lisa because she hasn't showed up, and the dumbass men say, okay, Allison, why don't you go there? You see a brief scene of Allison go to the door, and then the next thing you know, her head is in the fridge, too.
Yeah.
Which is sad. You just kept murdering people. Well, yes, I know. But.
To be fair, which is also really fucked up, I know it's messed up to do, but they did find out that he was crazy. They probably should have went to the police. To be fair, when she pulled up in her car and saw her friend's car there, she should have been like, yeah, I'm going to call the police.
I think she took it as she spent the night.
They both of them didn't go to work, and they've been calling her phone.
I mean, yes, lots of red flags right there.
And wasn't both of their cars there?
I don't know if Fiona's car was there. Fiona's car, he just left it where it was.
Oh.
It's her car, and then Allison and Lisa's car that he then pulls into the back afterwards to hide them. Because when the other two coworkers show up, that's when they find the cars and then go break into his house and then call the cops. And the cops don't show up for a very long time, or they take forever to call the cops. I'm not sure which one, but they should have been there a lot faster. So
depending on what they called it.
I mean, you go in the house and he starts vomiting. He saw shit.
Oh, I see. I missed.
Or realized that there's dead people here.
Also, I think I agree with Ken. I think it would smell like shit in the house too. So
yeah. I mean, look at to talk about real life situations like with Dahmer. You look at the interviews and stuff. They're like, this place smells terrible.
Talking about the cat, I think.
Well, there's that too.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Guess not. Never mind.
Bodies smell a lot worse than cats, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I know.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean the bodies, yeah. Because I guess Tupperware hides smell, but I don't know.
Not like that. Not even.
Yeah, but what's in the bags?
What's in the bags?
I mean, my guess, if there's something in the bag too that's bodily waste, that's gonna stink. And cat shit and dog shit is a much different smell than human waste.
Decaying body.
Yes.
Here's the other thing. When it comes to decaying flesh, it generates gases. Gases will 100% pop the lid of Tupperware.
Oh, yes.
That'll just happen. That'll happen if you leave milk sit too long in the fridge.
I've seen rotten watermelon in my life. Oh, too many times. They explode. It's not fun when you're the guy who has to clean it up because you work in produce.
PETA.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, there's any number of problems and ways that could have gone horribly wrong if he didn't live out on his own.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but since he did, he was just a killer who killed, and it's I don't know what he did with the garbage afterwards, like the bags.
He just left them there. He just hid them. That was his walls, essentially, in his apartment.
But the bags outside, those kept growing during the movie too.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
So we did throw some stuff out.
Killed a lot of people, maybe. I mean, also the idea that he could have killed more people, like you said earlier. He killed people before this, but he could have killed people during this that we don't see.
Yeah.
So you never really know. And then this is when he goes to the doctor. He tells her he committed murders and he kidnaps her. This was strange. This was a very strange part, I felt. When he just, he takes her to the field. He's like, hey, and then she kind of he's like, oh, that's a good thing. Hey, that was 10 years worth of therapy right here in a minute. Something like that.
Didn't she say, did you hurt people? Well, define hurt people. Did you kill people? Oh, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Or did I imagine that?
No, something like that.
Again, though, we have his view of what's happening during that.
Yeah.
So, we don't know what actually happened in that field, but at least she's alive.
Right.
I mean, he was going to kill her 100%, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know, man.
I mean, he takes her to the
really
apartment eventually and has her all tied up, but, I'm assuming he couldn't let her live.
I think he was actually trying to, get help.
Okay.
So I think he was going to keep her around as long as possible.
I mean, people are going to realize she's missing.
Yeah, probably.
And you're missing, and all the other people you work with are missing.
Oh.
Sure, put two and two together, and you have a criminal history, so you're going to be one of the first suspects to begin with.
He's rehabilitated.
Yes, but the cops, you're the first suspect. Whether anyone, any shape or form, you're guilty. You're one of the first suspects. If you have a record. In general, they're going to come after you first.
That's very true.
So yeah, and this is when the cops do finally show up, and then he escapes through the vent into the bowling alley and ends up hitting a pipe, which leads to a fire.
Yeah,
an explosion.
Gas leak. Hits gas pipe. Gas starts leaking, and all it takes is one spark of static electricity, and kaboom.
Yeah, and it's a sad. I mean, it's a sad way for him to die. But again, the other outcome would have been him getting shot to death, and I think this works better.
He does die then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's the whole place is on fire, and the smoke kills him. Essentially, I'm assuming.
You also feel kind of bad because his psychiatrist is even still trying to help him because they keep asking her, like, does he have a weapon? And she's like, I don't know if he has a weapon, but please do not hurt him because he is mentally unstable.
I mean, I thought she was, and again, this is not him hallucinating because it's not from his perspective. Like, it's nice to see that she honestly did care about her patient.
Well, yeah, he is legitimately crazy, especially, going into his backstory, which I think we kind of skimmed over just a little bit. Like his mom made him kill him, and his dad
kill her.
Yeah.
Did she though? I wasn't sure if she actually said that.
Oh,
and that's 100%. You can't be sure.
All you do know is that she died and he was involved in it. And I'm assuming he kills his father because in the very end, when he's in the white room and he's singing, the father's there and the mother and the three women we know he killed.
I never thought about that. Yeah.
So I think he killed his father and his mother because I think they were abusive, and that does happen.
Well, no, I don't think that because the psychiatrist knows that his mom was also crazy, which means the mom might have tried to get help at some point too.
Okay.
And the stepdad, which is the one that which is also there at the beginning, the stepdad also says that they're both psychopaths, which also could imply that they are both crazy.
His mom heard angels speaking, so it's very possible that she had schizophrenia as well.
Doesn't everybody hear angels speaking?
No.
Oh.
No.
And speaking of the only actual, probably legitimately hilarious part of this movie is when the psychiatrist is on his couch and he brings the head out. And they all start screaming, and the cat starts fucking harmonizing. And he's like, will everyone shut the fuck up? Mr. Whiskers! And he's like, oh, okay.
And, like, I don't know. It's not a happy ending.
No,
it is not.
Bunch of fucking people died. Nobody got the help they needed.
That's what's sad about it.
Yeah, like, it's a sad fucking ending from this little cute movie that started out, like, an hour and a half ago as like, oh, talking dogs and Ryan Reynolds and everybody's singing a happy song and doing a conga line through the office. And then it just degenerates to, oh my fuck.
That's what so oddly what made me sad was when he went off his meds, he couldn't talk to his animals anymore or they didn't talk back. I was like, oh, that's so sad.
And, like, the interesting thing was the cat was trying to convince him not to take the medicine because he was like, Jerry, you're going to be lonely if you take those medicine.
Cat wasn't wrong.
The cat wasn't wrong, but Jesus. Like, this is not an easy movie to watch.
No. Damn you, Ken.
Why do you always pick those ones?
The title of the poll was No Happy Endings. I wanted to do something bleak.
I know, but I feel
you want to do The Grudge.
I feel like a lot of your movies you pick don't have happy endings.
No, that's not entirely true.
Okay.
What's the last movie you picked?
He doesn't know.
He's done a lot.
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. I've done so many fucking movies in the last bit. I can't even tell you what the hell we were like. Yeah, I've been recording a lot of movies.
We also forget that Jesus also comes down during his song to tell him that his pets are going to be okay. So that makes me feel better.
Yeah, I liked that part.
Oh, I remember the last movie I picked for a poll. It was Dirty Harry.
Yeah, that's not depressing.
It's got a happy-ish ending.
He stops the bad guy.
And, but he also quits.
I mean, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2.
I didn't pick that.
No, you didn't, but I mean, close enough.
But that's got a happy ending.
Wow.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but you didn't pick that either. That was also depressing.
Yeah.
Fuck, Mike. You need to pick a happy movie at the end of fucking Spooktober. It's goddamn.
What kind of happy ending for horror movies?
Final Girls.
Everybody lives.
I mean, Alien has a happy ending-ish. If you don't know what the hell is going to happen to her later in the future. She lives
we don't
and
count.
escapes.
We don't count Alien 3. Alien 3 didn't happen.
No, we're talking about Alien to Aliens.
Yeah, Alien and Aliens is fine.
Well, I mean, not for her. She goes from, I survived, and wake up and go, hey, it's 60, 70 years later, and guess what? We're doing it all over again, but this time there's more. Like, that's not a happy ending for her.
Hey, Ripley, sorry, everybody you loved is dead. Let's go back to where you were terrified.
I mean, and make it worse. That will be on the show at some point, for sure.
I'm not gonna lie, I've also worked a lot of, because I'm watching the ending. I haven't worked a lot of retail jobs or like big office jobs. But if I worked in an office job and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna conga," I'm like, "There is no amount of liquor to make me conga."
No, but the interesting thing about the conga line is that the people are in the conga line in the order that they die.
Oh,
I did not catch that.
No,
Well, because I didn't know it. All right.
Yeah, like if you go back and watch the conga scene, it goes Fiona, Anna Kendrick, fuck if I remember her name,
Allison.
Yeah, then Allison, then Jerry.
there's also like a little dance number between him and Fiona, which is also probably in his head.
Yep.
Yeah, that's in his head for sure.
Oh, more than likely, he's probably just spazzing out in the corner by himself.
And that's the end of the movie. And it isn't. I mean, it just them singing.
There's a song and dance number going back to everybody is singing Sing a Happy Song by the OJs, I think.
Not the OJs.
Yes, platinum selling group, the OJs.
The Juice.
Let me look it up. Yeah, the funny thing is the OJs also did a song called Backstabber, but we don't talk about that often. Yes, Sing a Happy Song is by the OJs.
Oh, and this movie bombed in box office, apparently.
Oh,
yeah.
I just looked it up. 11 million budget, 2.2 million box office. There's a reason no one talks about this movie.
But in a 2020 interview, Ryan Reynolds said that this film is one of his favorite movies he's ever done. So there is that.
I mean, it's one of his very unique movies. Like, that's what got my interest, too, was seeing him on. I'm like, okay, I like Ryan Reynolds, so I'll give this a try. Like, this is not your normal Ryan Reynolds film.
No.
Plays it well, though.
Good actor.
He's done a bunch of interesting films that I would... There's some out there that I would absolutely love to cover because they're just so strange.
Sure, come up for more. Oh, I was going to say, we should talk about the director quick. We haven't mentioned her at all, really.
We should talk about Marjane Satrapi. So, Marjane Satrapi has done some amazing things in her life. She wrote, probably most known for her comic book Persepolis and its animated film adaptation, which she also directed. She was born in Iran. She does a lot of really interesting projects that are saying more than they're saying on the surface. All of them are. And she has done so much in her life. If you've never read or watched Persepolis, please do that. I would love to read more of her work. I have not, but amazing, absolutely amazing artist. And this is not her first movie, but the thought and care that has gone into this movie is just fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot to this movie. A lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah. She does good work, is what I'm trying to say. Like, very good work.
No, and I'm curious to see. I mean, I'll never watch any of her other work. I was just looking at. Well, I might thought Radioactive movie sounds interesting.
You really should watch Persepolis. It's really very good.
Okay.
You want to watch a Joe movie, because everyone said this was a Joe movie. You want to watch a Joe movie that's recommended by Joe, you should totally watch John Dies at the End.
What?
I want to cover that so bad.
John Dies by the End is the movie?
John Dies at the End.
The movie is called John Dies at the End, and the main character's name is John.
So we know does he die at the end?
That's a spoiler.
Oh.
It's also based on a book, apparently.
It is?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
There are 4 books in the series. I've read them all. And there's a 5th one coming out. The book is even more insane than the movie.
Okay, I owe you, Joe and Ken, for all the movies you guys have been doing with me. Okay, well, we'll put it on the show.
Has there been a Joe poll?
No.
That's been a Joe poll. I did the Batman poll. The Batman poll was my idea. The Batman double feature.
Is that when I had to watch Batman and Harley Quinn?
No.
That was my own stupidity, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was your own stupidity. That was when we finished off the Joe Schumacher Batmans.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I enjoyed those. All right. Anything else you guys want to say?
As badly as this movie did in theaters, it was actually really, well, not really well, but pretty well reviewed when it came out. Not a lot of people saw it, of course, which is a damn shame. But it's got an IMDb user score of 6.3 out of 10, which is honestly kind of surprising. It did end up winning some film festival awards.
Okay.
You know, it being Paris, of course. Like, I feel like that doesn't even need to be said. Like, this did well amongst the critics, but that didn't really translate well into box office, which is unfortunate.
Still make your money later in a movie. I mean, they act like they don't, but they can. They're streaming. There's DVD sales. I mean, they make their money.
Yeah. When
they
this
just want more money.
Was released to video demand and in limited theatrical release, its opening weekend it made $5,000.
Oh my god, that's bad.
Why was it limited?
The context, I'm assuming.
If you own a theater, are you going to put this in there? Like, I would.
Yeah.
But the average person is not going to see this. And I think it's a shame because they miss out on a really amazingly good performance by not only Ryan Reynolds, but like everybody else in the movie is pulling their weight too.
Yeah. And
special props to Jackie Weaver as Dr. Warren. She did a really good job. And if you want to watch another movie with Jackie Weaver, the 2020 version of The Grudge.
Are we going to cover that?
Yes, I owe him. Yeah. He was upset.
I'll be on that one.
I know you would be.
I really wanted that one to win.
You know, I'm okay that it didn't, but we'll do it anyway. Like, that's fine.
At some point, maybe. I'm not going to hold you to it.
I will. I'll hold on to it. We're going to do it. Because I want to cover it.
I'm trying to do more horror movies. So, just because.
You should watch Imaginary. I watched. Ken, have you seen Imaginary?
I have not because I am not interested in it at all.
Well, I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Like, I thought it was a horror movie. It's rated PG-13. Going into it, I was like, fuck, I don't know if I would watch this. The
Blumhouse Imaginary. No, I thought you were talking about one of those Imaginary Friends movies that came out this year.
Well, technically it was.
Yeah, technically. No,
there's also with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Technically it's I mean, it was okay. I can't say if you would like it or not. There wasn't a lot of gore. Like, there was pretty much no blood.
I don't mind that. PG-13 horror has come a long way, though.
That's true.
And it's not as bad as it used to be. Like, they do interesting things now with PG-13 horror.
I feel like it was more, I don't know, psychological kind of. Like, it was really interesting. I'm
glad you liked it, and I was busy recording, so that's great.
You wouldn't mind it.
No, not if it's PG-13. It might be okay.
You'd be fine.
I don't think I'll be fine with some of the movies I'm going to be watching soon, but some French movies there.
Yeah. I couldn't handle subtitles yesterday, so I did.
If you join our Discord, you can go to Ken's horror movie channel and talk about other horror movies that are really good. For instance, you know what was really good that I watched recently, Tiffany, and I think you get a kick out of? I watched White Noise 2 starring Nathan Fillion. That was a really good fucking movie.
That was a hell of a lot better than it needed to be.
I don't know if I've seen the first one.
You don't have to see the first one to see the second one, yeah.
Just see the second one?
I know the actor is in the first one, and I know he was going to be in the second movie, so.
Oh.
The first one's good, though.
The only thing you understand is the concept that you can see ghosts through white noise for some reason. It's not explained very well.
First movie's freaky.
So it's like Poltergeist.
Never seen that yet, but I will be soon. Next week, I think. Maybe.
You saw the newer one.
No, not next week. No, I saw the new one, which you were very, very upset about.
Does anybody have an opinion on the newer Poltergeist?
We can talk about that another time.
Fine. Jesus. See how it is. Go ahead. Go to Shelf Stacker Box.
Thank you. Let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Tiffany, why don't you go first?
I think I'll do it in a stack. It wasn't definitely a shelf, but I would watch it again just because how interesting it was. I liked it.
All right. And Mr. Joe.
You caught me mid-sneeze, Mike. God damn you. I'd also put this on the stack. I had a really good time with it, but as I feel bad because it really does always go with it. Bad endings always kind of depending on what it is, because you can have a movie about a bad person and have a bad ending and they still have a good time. But also I feel like if bad endings also affect the status of the movie, which is probably also why this movie didn't do very well. I'm not going to say I didn't have a good time with it, but I'm also not going to say that it was pretty good. So I'd still give it a stack though. Not shelf wise, but yeah, I could probably watch this again.
All right, and Ken.
It's like, who's up next?
I don't know. It's tough. Like, this is, I think, like the third or fourth time I've watched this movie, and every time I watch it, I swear I'm not going to do it again because it's a rough watch. But despite that, and the fact that I bought it twice now, I think I have to shelve it.
Yeah, if you bought it twice.
And I did put this on a poll, so I liked it enough to subject people to it.
So yeah. But you also didn't think it was going to win.
I didn't think a lot of things that I put on polls were going to win, but here we are. Yeah, I think I have to shelf this.
Okay. I'll go last. I'm going to surprise you guys. I'm putting this in the shelf, too. I had fun. I liked this film.
Yeah, wow. What?
I mean, maybe it was Anna Kendrick wanting to get laid that got me like, okay, I'm in. But
Probably.
100% what
that did help. But I just enjoyed the movie. It wasn't too gory. It was interesting. It was a good movie. So, I mean, yes, it's depressing, but it wasn't as bad as some things I've watched that made me just upset. So I had a good time. I'm glad I saw it. I'm really glad that, we have it. We have a review now of this. I mean, there's not many. By the way, I looked on YouTube before we watched it to kind of get like a little refresh, and there wasn't much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is not something that a lot of people talk about. So. Why
are you talking so loud? My head hurts. Stop shouting at me.
No, I talk loud.
I know. I can hear you cackle 2 floors above.
I forgot what movie we were watching, speaking of horror movies, and me and my husband had a really off prone. It wasn't with this, but we had a really profound talk about bad endings and spoilers for a movie. So, turn off now if you don't want to spoil it for that movie.
What movie?
We watched, I forgot what movie we watched, but we're talking about how we didn't like the movie because it had a bad ending. But we also watched Talk to Me, and Talk to Me has a bad ending. And we, have you seen that?
Talk to Me does not have a bad ending. Talk to Me has a great ending.
It's a deserved ending, is what I mean. It's a bad ending, but it's a deserved ending. And it's how we were talking about how, because I forgot what movie we watched. We're like, it was really sour ending, and we were like, oh, we didn't like that. And then we were comparing it to Talk to Me, how you can have a bad ending and it still be a good movie, but you can also have a bad ending and it could completely ruin the movie.
That is fair.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing trailers for this movie I did not want to see. Okay.
What's it called?
It's pretty spooky.
Oh yeah.
So, all right.
I have to watch it. I gotta get my horror fill with the spooky season coming up, and it's all on the streaming services.
Yep, you do.
I gotta get it filled. I'm trying to watch new movies though.
Hey, I got plenty of recording. You can go have fun.
Okay.
So, all right, and let's go to plugs. And Ken, where can people find you at?
You can find me, my writings, kennethsanity.wordpress.com. You can also find me many episodes of Games My Mom Found. I don't know, someday I think it'd be interesting to see if you could filter by guests on Podbean, but yeah, I'm not hard to find. Also, hopefully by the end of this year, I will be putting out my own film podcast that I'm really looking forward to sharing more details with as we get closer.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to when you do that.
Damn. Why are you laughing at me?
Because you're like, I'm actually going to listen to that one.
I probably
Unlike your husband's show.
No.
Dang.
I don't listen to his show. I hear his voice and cackle enough. I don't need to hear it anymore.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, over 650 other episodes of this podcast, you find everything we do on Podbean. We do movies, comics, TV shows, all sorts of crap. Who knows what the hell we're going to do? So you want to check out our giant catalog. If you want to support the show, we do have Patreon for Little Dog. Vote in our Patreon poll. That's where this came from. And we have 1 to 2 polls a month. And we also have a Discord we mentioned earlier, too. Please join Discord. If you want to be on the show, that's how you do it. I asked for guests on the Discord. So join the Discord. You can also suggest things for the show and talk with us. So join because. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fear. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram. You will see a link in the show notes to her link tree. Definitely go check her out. And check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, audio only, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcast. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
So long.